Back in studio, we're about to have a conversation about over another topical issue. We've seen the issue of perennial flooding, largely attributed to encroachment in Ramsar areas. We've seen some level of action from the government, the RCC, something that was started in the previous administration, halted at a point, and then, of course, it's been resumed by the Greater Accra Regional Minister who heads the RCC. But in as much as we want to do right by nature and by the people, there's a way to go about things, because all actions affect, if not us directly, others, or it impacts our society as well. Now, there are persons in these areas who are affected by the demolition exercise that has been undertaken by the RCC. I'm referring to the Ramsar areas, Sakumo, Klagon, Tema, and what have you. And some of these affected persons are calling on the government for clemency to allow for increased stakeholder consultations to come up with a roadmap to bring finality to the issue. One of such bodies is the Harbourview Estate Residents Association. They are directly impacted by the demolition exercise, and today they are here to share their story with us. We're fortunate to have the chairman of the association, Jonathan Boy-Doku, join us in studio. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us. It's good to have you. I don't even know if it's a good morning or not.
It's a good morning. The morning has to be good.
Well, we have life, so we'll give
yes.
Great, good to have you. So, Harbourview Estates, give us an idea where exactly you guys are located.
So, Harbourview, we are behind the MF Estate. Behind the MF Estate.
So, we're talking Tema West.
Tema West area, yeah, municipality, yeah.
So, behind MFs.
Yes.
Is it close to the Celebrity Golf Course? Is it leaning towards Klagon? Which area exactly?
So, it's in the middle between the Klagon enclave and the golf site. So, we are exactly in the middle.
Right. So, how affected are you by this demolition exercise?
In fact, it's impacted about 10.5 acres of properties. So that's quite a lot.
10.5
acres. 10 or 40 plots.
But what happened? How did we get here? How did you guys acquire the lands in the first place? What assessments were made? What checks did you make?
Checks, assessments. Okay. To me, I'll take it in a layman's term. An ordinary Ghanaian who wants a place to sleep. And then you find a place physically viable that you can build. So when you are led there, first thing is, okay, this is a good place. I want to lay my head. I'll take it and start building. That's for it now.
I like the way you put it, physically viable.
Yes.
What of technically?
Technically, as in
you ensuring that where you're building is not in a waterway, it has all
a
the
legal
approval,
place to put up structures.
Exactly.
All right. So when the time we got there, the place was bare. In fact, the search on the land wasn't really made until later days when the questions of people encroaching a Ramsar site came to play. But when this issue started, we were looking for best solutions to the problem. The little I know about the Ramsar site is that it should have a sustainable development. It should be of wise use, not totally stay out. So in our submission during the press conference, we're saying we understand that there's some ecological importance of the place.
Yeah.
But there's a way we can integrate that we don't sideline the importance of the place with urbanization. We can work hand in hand to make sure that it serves its purpose and we also have a place to sleep.
Wow. So let's look at when you acquired the lands. And just as you have underscored the importance of the ecology of the area and preserving same, what kind of permits were you given? And what kind of buildings or structures were you permitted to put up in these areas? All in respect to the ecological importance of these areas.
Well, the issues of permits in Ghana is a bit complex now. You know, not defending us not having permits. Most buildings are built without permits. The authorities come in one way or the other. So the last engagement before the new government came in, they were trying to talk to us to see if we can have ways of getting permits after we have had the lines agreed.
Right.
So the problem was people transiting into the core area. The core area is where there is direct impact to the environment if people get there. So that was where the argument was. So the earlier administration, Chama West, they were trying to engage that those who fall outside the core area, we're trying to have a roadmap to get a permit on penalty so that we can have a clear line and continue from there. And then there was change in government, and then we had to halt and see what comes after that.
But in this case, the TDC that is coming in to demolish these structures, I guess, together with the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council to pull down the structures. One may ask, where did you go for some sort of approval that where you are buying, you can put up a structure?
We didn't say we've gone for approval. There was a roadmap being set by the earlier government, which we didn't finish. In the roadmap, by all means, we have to get our documents. And we have to work within the transition zone, not the core area.
Okay.
So that was the conversation that was going on. I'm not saying it's an approval. It's a roadmap being set. So we have to follow a certain roadmap to get to where we want to be. But unfortunately, we didn't get to the end of the road, and there was a change in government.
Okay. Wow. Where the lines clearly defined, which area falls within the transition zone, which area falls within the core Ramsar zone?
Okay, so the lines were being defined. Physically, no, but the technical guys were working on the lines. But let me put this across. Even in our working settings, you have rooms where they say no entry to anybody.
Okay.
We don't leave the door open. There's a lockable door,
Yeah.
and there's no entry.
Right.
If you leave it open, someone might be tempted to go through. These physical boundaries were not set. So to somebody who wants a place to sleep, since he doesn't see any clear physical
Boundary.
and it's sold to him, the person will naturally go to the place.
But these structures you've put up there didn't maybe spring up just overnight or something. When you started with the foundation, putting up the blog work and all those things, weren't there authorities coming around to say that, hey, this place, we do not put up structures here, or concerns raised during that period?
Consensus.
Because my border is, it gets to sort of lenting, then to the roofing level and everything, before the authorities will now go in and pull down the structure.
Yeah.
But as you are starting, like foundation and all that, nobody raised concerns.
So the major concerns came during the Henry Quarter time.
Okay.
Yes, that's when the major concerns came. Right, so that's when we started having a roadmap to have a finalization. Now, going further, Sakumono is just one part of the Ramsar.
Yeah.
We have different Ramsar sites in Ghana. We have one in Keita, we have some in Winneba.
Yeah.
Now, when you are on the Aflao stretch going down, on the right side, south side, all that place is Ramsar. And we have villages there, we have towns there. If you go to Winneba, we have villages, towns within the wrong site. Those sites are still there. So the question, why are they not being impacted by demolition? So the issue now is not about not being there, it's about wise use of the place. That's the thing. If you say we are all in Ramsar, then all those guys should go.
You mean all the places you've mentioned?
No, all Ramsar sites with habitation should go.
It may not. It's debatable.
Let me land, please. With Sakumono, we have two things playing. One, Sakumono is a Ramsar site. Two, Sakumono is a government land. Which one are we fighting for? Is it the Ramsar or the government issues? If it's Ramsar, we can all sit down and have a collaboration to see the best way to solve the problem. The government issue is one thing we can discuss another time. But this is the Ramsar issue. Ramsar is sustainable development in the area, so that you don't impact negatively on the basic primary principle of what the land was meant to be.
Right.
So we can sit down and talk and see how best we can all have solution to the problem. Now, I had some discussion with some experts. Apparently, over the years, the Ramsar site has been neglected. When you are moving on the Tema Stretch, there's this gate that had to open for the sea to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been abandoned. At the final stages, what will happen to the area is that the silting will start occurring. The purpose for the Ramsar site to take the water, settle, water goes out of the sea, has been defeated. With this engagement, I don't know how far government had gone with the technical guys, hydrologists, the wetland geologists, all those. That if there's another way we can all sit and have conclusion on what technicalities can be put in place, so that, as I always say, the main purpose of the Ramsar shouldn't be defeated.
Yeah.
That we can still be there, and then the purpose of the Ramsar will still be sustained. That's what we are calling for. We are not saying government should leave the project, ask us to do whatever we want to do, so that the purpose is gone. No, we want to keep the purpose, but because people want a place to sleep, it's urbanization. Even in those places I mentioned earlier, Winnipeg, people are living there. How much people are flooding in? We need a place to sleep. We are looking at balancing urbanization and ecological effects, so that at the end of the day, it's a win-win balance for everybody.
Give us an idea of the type of structures that are within these areas, and candidly, have there been some filling done there? Because you see, that is the bone of contention, that when you fill up these areas, you impact the natural flow of water, you impact the retention of water, and you defeat the purpose of the Ramsar site.
Our part, I'm talking on whole view, it's mostly residential.
Okay.
Residential and apartments. But with filling, no. We have not filled our area. It's the natural gradient, the natural soil, the natural stuff that is there.
But has your part also experienced some demolition?
Yes, 10.5 acres of property.
10.5.
Yes.
And that was also done during Henry Court's time.
The
Before
the
recent one?
No, the recent one is 10.5 acres.
What of that did Henry Court also embark on any demolition there?
Henry Court didn't really hit buildings because of the roadmap which wanted to be set.
He pulled down walls.
Yes, he pulled down walls. But these buildings were impacted.
So now the walls that he pulled down in his era, are buildings springing up on those lands again, or it's been left like that?
Not all. Some buildings are springing up, some sprang up, some are. So at the point Henry Court came, it was like trying to tell everybody to stop so that we sit down. The jaw was going on. We were not done with it. And some buildings have sprung up, but not to the extent that we will find warring. So there's another impact here. Our worry, there's a demolition, it goes away, everything is silent. There's another demolition, everything is silent by years. So the cycle keeps on repeating. Why don't we all sit down and finish this thing once and for all? This is what we can allow you. This is what we can't allow you. From this point, we are going to put physical boundaries here. Anybody that trespasses this boundary, then you are liable to your own actions. This will make it easy for everybody. Because as far as you leave the land bare, people will prey on others' innocency to give them land, and then it will be a problem in the future.
I want to ask this sensitive question. Who sells the land to you people?
The land. The earlier custodians of the land.
So say the chiefs.
Yeah, chiefs, yes.
And are the chiefs aware of this? Have you tried engaging them? Have the authorities engaged them that do not go ahead and sell these lands because, one, like you indicated, government lands, and two, the fact that they are meant to be Ramsar sites?
That have they been engaged?
Yes,
by
or are the chiefs aware of what actions the government will take in the near future if someone should put up a structure on these lands that have been reserved to be Ramsar sites, or, like you indicated, is also a government land?
The chiefs, 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 the That's what I'm saying, that with this, there's no finalization to the problem now. Let's all sit down, because if there's going to be stakeholder engagement, it should be everybody. We all sit down and understand. We all sit down and agree. Whether the chiefs are in the known or not, I can't speak to it.
Right.
But if we all sit down at the round table and we all have an understanding of whether you be chief, whether you are buying, whether you're an association, whether government, this is what we have agreed on, signed.
Right.
Anybody who breaks the rule should be ready to bear the consequences.
Right. Now let's come to how much of an impact or how this demolition exercise has affected you as residents, as property owners in this area. Give us an idea. I mean, we know that there's the cost burden, but then as humans, as residents in the area, how much of an impact has this had on you? And if, of course, please add on, if it should continue, where would that leave you?
The future uncertainty, the housing issues in the urban areas, people investing in blocks and cement, sand, and all things going down in a day. It will take the strong to stand. It might take somebody 30 years back. And it's as if the person is even approaching his pension. Maybe the younger around 30 will manage. But someone around 55, 56, or 60. That's the end. That's what we are asking government to. We should hold on. We should just hold on. Let's talk. Let's see how best we can salvage what we can salvage. What is a no-no? We understand it's a no-no. And have clear guidelines to the situation.
When you started the conversations or the dialogue with the former minister, that's Henry Korte, what did you present to him? What did his team also present to you? And what were you hoping to achieve, basically?
The basic thing Henry Korte wanted to achieve was that with the encroachment going on, if it's left and nothing is done to it, people are really going to affect the core area, right? So he wanted the final line to be set where we know this is where we are stopping and nobody should go further. So he was acting, he was with the technical guys because they know best the extent to which development can go and where it should stop so that it don't have negative environmental effects. So that was the line they were towing. But unfortunately, we didn't finish everything, and then we had to restart this way again.
Who were part of these meetings?
So the chiefs were there, the resident associations were there, the forestry commission, there, forest commission, and I think some other stakeholder governmental
stakeholders were also there.
Wow, this is serious.
It's quite disturbing. I mean, we cover it. We sit here and we see the distraction going on. And I mean, as a human being, I feel the pain of these property owners and these house owners. Yeah. But then again, you also think about the national effect or the national impact, that if we allow this to continue, the burden that it will place on us. So,
but with this current administration, the current Greater Accra Regional Minister, Linda Okulu, has she opened her doors to engage you people yet? What has been the talks like? Any arrangement for that?
So we have taken a step to petition the president to halt with the exercise. And let's all have a look at it again. As I said earlier, let's have a look at it at where we can stop finally. The government concern is about flooding issues. Yes, because the cry is that because of encroachment, places are getting flooded. And I said that it's the core area that receives most. And if there's impact in the core area, then it's going to cause issues. The transition zones don't have that burden so much. So we're asking that petition, let's sit down and talk. Let's see how we finalize the final lines. That we can leave people to have a place to sleep. And we can have the wetland performing its duties without having negative impact on the environment. This is sustainable development. In the developed areas, I wouldn't say all their Ramsar site is clear. There had been some form of encroachment, but there's been engagement and redesign to see that whatever is done doesn't have negative impact on the environment.
Has your property been touched yet?
No. But I'm far up.
Okay.
But because I'm the chairman,
I have to talk to other people.
I have to
Right.
put myself in, and then we'll have final engagements to see how much we can salvage from the situation.
Are you willing and ready to invest in the prevention or the protection of the Ramsar site when finally you're able to come to an agreement with the authorities?
We are ever willing, 100%. In fact, we, in the previous administration, were looking at giving the documents regularization for those who fall outside the core area. That money can be used for serious conservation and ecological benefits. The sluice gates, the dredging, and all that. If you have to put in additional financial effort to support governments to make sure that the place becomes as governments want to be, it's collaboration. We will try to push our members to work with the government to make sure the place becomes a sustainable environment that will help all Ghanaians.
If worse comes to worse, do you have an avenue of getting your money back? I mean, as for the cost involved in the building of the structures, it will go. But at least the cost of the land, do you have an avenue to retrieve?
That's another conversation for another day.
Very
But
well.
right now, the main aim is to salvage
Right.
and to make sure we work with government to have a sustainable environment. That's it. That's key.
Very well. We want to thank you and wish you well. Any final words you want to put out there?
To the government, to the residents, to the chiefs, whoever I think has to hear this.
So our final submission is that as we pleaded with the presidents and governments, we should all come back to the table and have a final talk on the situation to see where we have our fine lines and we guided by it. So at the end of the day, I say it's always a win-win solution for all of us. Right, thank you.
I know that was the final, but on the petition or the plea to the
Yes.
presidency, have you been able to physically, formally notify the authorities on what your request is? Or will it end with the press conference?
Can you rephrase your
I'm
question?
asking if you followed up with presenting a formal petition.
Yes, we followed a
Right.
formal petition to about I think eight agencies. Eight agencies. Yes. So we have NADMO, we have Forestry, we have the Tema West Municipal Assembly, we have the MP, we have the Chief of Staff, we have the advisor to the President, and we have the President himself.
Very well, very well. Jonathan Boydoku, thank you so much. He's the chairman of the Harbour View Estate Residents Association, and we wish you well. Hopefully there's a listening ear that hears you out, and then we all come to the table, we sit, we negotiate, we dialogue, and we find a solution to this issue of Ramsar sites encroachment and Ramsar sites protection.